this computer. Actually, I can hold on. My internet is so slow. My internet is so slow that even if I don't want to, and you can edit. I don't want to waste bandwidth for the Zoom call on uploading as it goes.
Yeah, I've got mine recording now, so I'm all set. So when you're ready, go ahead. Let me see what you got going on here.
Okay. Going to be one of those days, huh, Skytrack?
Well, it wasn't fat, that's for sure.
Right. That was a little thin.
A little thin, and that.
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I have been hitting it a little thin. It's not been going very far. That I know.
Okay.
And I'm also trying not to hit the ball hard.
That sounded solid. I mean, that one looked good. That one looked nice and solid. It sounded solid.
Mm-hmm. Wearing a spot on this mat, hitting it fat, so. Although maybe I'm not.
So right now, I'm gonna tell you just from what I've seen and what is showing up is you definitely got a misread going, because there's no way that's those last two shots.
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna mute myself for just a second.
That's fine.
Let's see if that helps.
All right.
That last one did come out a little low, but.
Yeah, but that's still not a 60-yard carry.
That was better.
Yeah.
And that was accurate. That was.
Yep, and that was kind of your straight little baby draw there.
Mm-hmm. Which has happened now that you've got my shoulders corrected.
Yep.
Now I'm over swinging and missing. Boy, let me do this.
Yeah, that's fine. Trust me, I've been down that road before.
The backlight's a fluorescent. I'll be a little darker, but you kind of get silhouetted on the back one anyways.
Yeah.
Back to fat.
Okay.
It's thin.
Okay.
So I don't know whether I'm inconsistent in my setup or.
Well, that's what I was watching. So let me see this one. Okay.
And that felt like a 3/4 swing.
Yeah, that was better. A little bit of the fade there. Yeah. So those last 3 shots, that's what I was looking for. When you said you were fat and then we were a little bit thin, you got that ball position moving a little bit. And I don't know. Can you see me the whole way up? I don't know. Because I don't have my screen up. Actually, let me pop myself up.
I can see you.
Okay.
I can see you. Yep.
All right. So what is happening is that ball position is moving on you. So you're kind of moving, and there's the last 3. There's been 2 things going on. That ball position is moved. In each swing, it's been different, and your feet width has been different each time.
Okay.
Good. That looks good and athletic. Let's see where we're at now.
Probably a little low still, but that's the kind of distance we want.
Yep, that's the distance. Just a little low. Good. Better carry. Higher. Yep. Good.
But I moved my feet, so I got to get back to the right place.
Yep.
Here we go. Okay, that feels right.
I mean, okay, so distance-wise, we're kind of right there. We're getting back to the little bit of the fade. And that's because now the shoulders are fine. What you're doing is you've got your shoulders, but now you're kind of rotating this right arm up. So you're almost more even, like your shoulders are there, but you're rotating this arm. So down the line, I can actually, it's almost like both arms are one. So what I want you to do is get that tilt, make that left arm straight, and then grab from underneath.
Okay.
There you go. Better. Okay. That one's going to move to the right.
I pulled that.
Okay. You pulled that. You're getting that right arm's so now we fix the under. That right elbow's coming off. Like you chicken winged that one big time. So you kind of got that.
Okay.
And you came over the top. You just shut down that face so much you pulled it.
Okay.
So try and keep that elbow, feel it tight. Better. Better, much better. Yeah. I mean, we can take that ball all day.
Yep.
And here's the thing, day to day, it's going to change on how your body feels.
Right. That was better contact.
Yep.
I mean, I pulled it a little bit.
That's okay. We got good solid contact, 170 on it. Just open that face a little bit, Mike. Same thing, just open that face a little bit. That should keep it from going full lap.
I leaned in on that one.
That's okay.
Didn't take a 113 miss over the 60-yard misses that I've had earlier the last couple of days. So open that face up just a little bit, elbow in. I haven't even started right. Might come back. Nope.
It's okay.
Oh. I felt the difference. That was my elbow from that one and the last one.
Yep.
My right elbow.
Yep. Good. Now that you're feeling it, that's a positive because now you just felt it, you can make the adjustment.
Right. A little fat.
A little fat, but still good yardage, still good ball flight.
I sped up. Okay, that makes sense. So left arm has been good.
Your
Hip
left
has
arm's
been good?
fine. Yep, your hips have been looking pretty good.
Okay,
So
I'm
it's that
thinking-
kind of that right arm's kind of what's been getting you right now.
Okay, I'm thinking about the hip and the left arm less now, which is a good sign.
Yeah, that's positive. All right.
Okay,
So
that makes sense.
Yep. So now we're getting more into that kind of that draw pattern a little bit. Those last couple. So kind of one of the things that I kind of want you to feel when you're setting up and you get that left arm straight, has to be straight. If we have this left arm straight, that right arm can bend. You can bend that right elbow a little bit more. So get that left arm straight,
okay.
and you might have to even take it a little bit hair closer. But let those hands kind of fall a little bit and kind of bend that right a little, right in there, and then reach underneath with that right arm so it almost feels like you're grabbing from underneath. There you go. Get that elbow bent a little bit, and we should see a little bit more of a right to left movement.
Ooh, that was really fat.
That's okay. That's that right to left movement, though. So the more you drop that elbow and feel it closer to your body, the more you're going to be able to keep it to the left. Now, it's not a problem if it's not close to the body. We're just going to have a more left to right path.
Right. Oh.
So that
one even came back a little bit.
Yeah, that one was bent a little bit more. But so for me, and just me personally, to get my right to left, if you kind of see, I kind of almost stick my right elbow almost in my gut. And so, my left arm's straight, my right elbow's in my gut, and you can actually kind of see this triangle. I don't know if you can see it from that angle. You can, even though I have a sweatshirt on, you can see right through my arms.
Right.
You're getting your right elbow up a little bit, so there's not that triangle, there's not that gap there. But if you give yourself that gap, then you're going to move it right to left. There you go.
Oh, that feels weird. Okay.
Yep. So it went right to left. We just pulled it, and that's what will happen. But so I want you to keep that in mind. I don't want you to necessarily have to go that route. I want you to be comfortable. So every guy with tucking that elbow is going to be different. It's a comfort level.
Right.
Whatever's comfortable is which is the route I want you to go. And if it produces a little fade, that's fine. If it produces a little bit of a draw, that's fine, because last week we talked about drawing and fading. So I just wanted to show you that that elbow can make a huge difference. That right elbow makes a huge difference in how you're contacting the ball and the direction it's going.
Well, I know that if I don't get this hip through, it's going to end up being a slice, and that is generally my miss. So if I'm erring on, I would rather start with a draw and end with a straight ball than start with a fade and end up with a slice.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's going to be on that right elbow. If you get that right elbow, a little bit of leeway, not lock it out, but something like that, you should be able to either draw it or start it left and let it come back.
Oh God, that was a good ball.
And look at that. Yep. And you had it, you didn't have it in real tight, but it wasn't locked out. If you lock out that right elbow, it's going to throw you off. So give it that little bit of bend. And I mean, I don't think you could ask for a better ball than that.
I think that I was trying to lock that right elbow out.
Yeah.
And that was my problem. That's been my problem for probably a week or so.
Yep. I mean, we worked on that a little bit, but yeah, that right elbow doesn't have to be locked out. The left arm is the one that we want straight.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
I pulled that one, but
that's okay. And we're pulling it because that club face is closing down. We just open that face. Try it one more time. Open that face a little bit.
That's better.
Much better.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So yeah, that's another key. Like I said, locking that elbow out can cause you problems because, you know, like I said, we're not getting you into a true single plane. We're getting close, and what we're doing is setting up close to impact. And so when they impact the ball and they come through, this left arm's always straight at impact, and this right elbow, if you watch any good golfer, this right elbow is always in at the body at impact. So it doesn't have to be in the body, but if you straighten it out, now you've got a lot of mechanics to go through to get your elbows and arms into impact position. Whereas if you start with it bent a little bit, now you're closer to impact position, and that's what's going to help you hit the shots you want.
I think it's a needed to get worse before it got better kind of situation.
Yep.
We focused on hips and left arms the first couple of weeks, and sort of let some other things be natural. And I think we're starting to commit. I'm starting to commit. You're helping me commit some of those other things to muscle memory. So I just need to watch video back on myself, make sure that I'm still moving those hips correctly, and then I can start to work on this right elbow.
Yep.
Oh.
And that was smoke.
That was sad.
Yeah, and listen, at any point, like, remember, you can shoot me an email, send me a video, whatever, and you still have that link, right, to log into the program?
I do.
Okay. Any point, just go back in, like, go ahead, jump in there, use my login, and go into, you'll want to look at just the setup video. The setup video, and if you need to go back to the hips, you can. But that exactly what I'm doing right here is covered in those two. The hips you know about, but the setup and setting those arms up and everything, and the shoulders, that's all in that setup video. And then there's a little bit into the iron swing video, but that's all there. So, you know, if it's, call it crazy, but 3 in the morning, you're up and it's driving you nuts, you know, you can pull that up on your phone or wherever and jump in there.
I'll do that.
All right. So switch over to a driver. Let's work on that driver.
All the way to the big dog.
All the way to the big dog. Same exact thing though. Same idea. Same thing with the arms. We're just going to stand a little bit further away.
Still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I hung up on you.
That's okay. I was just
That's why God made it.
2 shots right on top of each other.
Yeah, that's why God made edit software, right?
It looks like 1 shot.
Yeah, it does. I'll take that. Consistent.
Oh, exactly.
It doesn't have to be a 200-yard 7-iron, but so long as it's the same 7-iron.
Yep.
That even felt better. Although I chicken wing the elbow. Whoa.
Yep.
I've never made a driver do that before.
you towed it and you kind of snapped your wrist real quick.
Okay. I'll slow down on this one a little bit. But no, I've never had a driver go left before unless I straight pulled it. So that's a thing. Well, that's what it normally does.
Yeah. Yep.
That may have been hips. I also opened the club face up a little bit on that one.
Through.
A little high on the face. Ugh. Down.
All right, on this one, take your right hand off, straighten that left arm. There you go. Now grab it. There you go.
The first week after I started swinging inside, when I went outside to play, I did that like 10 times on the course.
All right, so those last 2, in terms of the right turn, those are more of a fade. That first one was the big pull hook. The other ones were more slices, and then those last 2 were getting better.
Right.
So what I want you to do is go ahead and set up. And remember, on your backswing, try and feel that elbow as if it's right in your side as you go back. So as you go back, try and keep that elbow as tight to your body as possible.
Way too much backswing on that one, but that is better.
Well, that's okay.
Did I keep that elbow in?
Yeah, when you keep that elbow in, it's not going to allow you to kind of really get out there and come over the top and slice it. So
Right.
those last 3 have all started right of target, which is not a problem. And they've just, faded 5-10 yards to the right. They're not slicing. Right. So if you kind of look at the pattern on those last 3, they've all started right of target and just kind of moved to the right. They didn't kind of really hightail it to the right.
Right.
So keeping that elbow in is what's going to keep that from really creating a big slice.
And I pushed that right also. Yeah. I pull hook that one. Never mind. No, I didn't.
It was definitely further left. So what? The other thing I'm seeing besides your elbow, that your elbow was much better, and right. I know why you're doing it. I want you to just slow down, trust the club. But what you're doing is you're wanting to yank it back fast, okay? And when you go to yank it, you're doing this weird little shuffle with your hips right now. You go to yank it, you go this way, and then you slide back instead of turning your hips. Just start it. Sit into that right back pocket. That's how you start your swing. Sit back in that pocket, let the body come natural. Better. much better though, Mike. That one was probably dead straight. Okay,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
I do. When I get overconfident, I definitely speed up, and it's something I have to be very cognizant of, or the driver goes away when I'm out of the course.
Mm-hmm. Better. Much better. And that's your furthest carry distance so far. You slowed it down, you followed the basics, and when you do that, you're going to catch the center of the face more. That'll take care of your distance when you catch the center of the face. So just worry about sitting in that hip. Don't try to kill it. Sit in that hip nice and smooth.
I forgot about some things on that one. Focus just on the hip.
That's okay.
I also lost my tee.
Over on this side under the ball dispenser. Is that it?
The 6. This is the 8. We'll go a little taller. It's around here somewhere. I should have gotten blue ones instead of black ones. I'll reach back out to Bertie and we'll get some new ones. I do like the idea of the small start forward, but I need to make sure that it's not a shift.
Correct.
And it's a turn. So
yeah. I'm not opposed to if you want to feel like you need to start forward a little bit, but make sure it's that turn. If you slide, then your weight gets all messed up and you're out of whack.
Right. Oh, goodness.
Good. Much better. Much straighter. So you start putting all that together and yeah. So this one, if you do it, make sure you get those hips and everything. But if you want to really lay into it, go ahead. But make sure those hips are going with you.
Right. Slow back and then let it rip.
Yep. There is. And that's that little baby fade.
Yep. And that was just because I think I got my hands ahead of my hips on the downswing.
That's okay, because I mean, if you're aiming down the center of the fairway, that's not missing the fairway.
It's going to come out low.
Low and left. I don't think it was as bad as Skytrack made it seem, but
yeah, I mean, I'd have been in the fairway and down the fairway quite a bit.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's a drive. Okay, that makes sense. I get that.
Okay. So the reason I want to make sure you have that feel right. You know, guys want to speed up, and it's fine as long as you have the mechanics working properly. It's going to be amplified when you try to kill it. So work on those mechanics slowly, like every time you work on driver. Slow on the mechanics, build yourself up, and then once you feel your body moving properly, then you can let it rip.
Right.
So go ahead, fire one more out there.
I'm also not having to offset. The last time we
offset.
I had to have that. I had to be in my draw stance to even stand a chance of it being in the fairway. We're not doing that today at all.
No.
Yes, sir.
There you go. And those will all play on the course.
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right, let's grab your sand wedge.
Okay.
I just want to work on a couple of those pitch shots that we worked on last week.
Okay.
There you go. Yep. And remember, just going back, keep that arm straight. Don't let those wrists break. There you go. Good.
Even that feels better with the elbow in.
Yeah, you got wristy on that one, and that's okay. I mean, that one turned out okay. But remember, if you get too wristy, then you're going to get yourself kind of caught up in a position where sometimes it's not going to come out that good. Better. Good. See, now adjust it. Let's see if we can get one to land somewhere between 10 and 15 yards. Good. And one more.
Might be a little long. Nope. No, a little longer.
Right on 15. Okay, good. All right. What club do you like to chip with?
I have been chipping with the sand wedge, but feel comfortable. I feel fairly comfortable chipping with everything between that and the 8-iron. I've been trying to use the 8-iron more often when I don't have to go over anything. So it doesn't. I haven't decided yet, but I'm not uncomfortable with any of them.
Okay, so that's good because depending on the situation, you may chip with your sand wedge. If you needed to run out more, you're going to go pitching wedge, 9-iron, something like that.
Okay.
So with chipping, what I want you to do is I want you to kind of get closer to the ball, and I want that ball lined up right in line with the big toe on your right foot. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Just like that. Now, I want you to bring your left foot back, stick the club right up against your right foot, and turn it so that it faces your left foot.
This, like the club?
Yep, like that. Now bring your left foot back so it's almost touching. So tighten your stance so your feet are almost,
here.
right like that.
Okay.
Now address the ball. And I want you to turn your feet about 30 degrees towards your screen, towards your target.
Okay.
Okay, something like that. Now, with the chipping, I want you, same idea, keep that right elbow in, and all we're going to do is just turn our shoulders back and forward. Just like that.
Oops.
Okay, good. Those feet are getting a little wide on you there, Mike. Make sure they're tight, almost the width of that club head.
Okay. Hit the ground first. Skytrack didn't like that one. I was surprised.
Sorry. Hit a couple. I'll be right back. All right. How's that feel? Feels different, doesn't it?
It feels a little different. I'm not sure what to do with my knees. I think I just have them slightly bent.
Yeah, you can bend them a little bit. You don't have to keep them stiff. Good. So the reason we're doing it like this is because what happens with a lot of guys when they chip is they like to use their wrist a lot. And the problem with using the wrist is you use the wrist and then guys slow down. So if you're in the rough or something like that, you slow those wrists down, it goes nowhere. So using our shoulders and kind of doing this setup, the setup does two things. A, it allows your shoulders to turn and get through the ball. But B, because you stand closer, the heel of the club actually comes up off the ground. And that reduces how much of the ground can actually affect the club. So,
Right.
you know, you're not noticing it, but trust me, that's what's happening. As you get closer and we move a little bit closer to the ball and get upright, we have less interaction with the ground, which means less chance of either hitting it fat or hitting it thin. Good.
That makes sense. I get that.
Good. And so now with your sand wedge, obviously that's going to be something that's not going to roll out as much.
Right.
You go to your pitching wedge, and as you go up towards, I really don't tell guys, or I tell guys, try not to go more than maybe a 9-iron with your pit or chip shots.
Okay.
For the simple fact that when you get to 8, it really takes off on you and it's really hard to control the distance. But if the pin's kind of towards the back, go with a 9-iron and kind of hit it maybe halfway and let it run out.
Okay. This is a pitching wedge.
Yep. That's all right. I can just tell, like, I see it already, that you're getting yourself in the right positions.
Yeah, that feels comfortable. I've been working a little bit on this type of almost putter type swing around the green. So
yep.
you changed my foot position a bit, but I don't think much is changing beyond that from what I normally do. So
yeah,
I am hitting the ball a bit more consistently than I normally do when I'm chipping. So
exactly. And if you ever watch, like, I can't tell you, I could watch these, like, the old guys, like the 70, 80-year-old guys out on the course. They're not the greatest, but when they're around the green, I mean, they'll get a chip, and every chip, I'll sit there and watch them. Every chip's within 5 feet. And I'm like,
right.
How are they doing it? Well, this is exactly how they're doing it, because their bodies don't allow their wrist to flick. It's all shoulders. And so just by determining, and if we need to go further, we just turn those shoulders a little bit more, then,
right.
then you know what it is. But if we can eliminate the wrist in a chip shot, we're going to be a lot more consistent and be able to get the ball closer more often. Good. Good. Yep, perfect.
And the SkyTrack probably doesn't calculate my rollout really well, so I'm going to need to do this around the
on
green.
One of the greens. Yeah. So, you know, one of the things that that last shot, so that last one you hit out on the toe a little bit. Now, normally, if you're using your wrist and you hit it out on the toe, when you're using your wrist, get it on the toe, it's gone, and it's
right.
going to go to the right. There's no stopping it. In this method, if you hit it out towards the toe or even towards the heel a little bit, you're still going to be able to get it close to on line and still get consistent distance.
Right. That makes complete sense.
Good. I mean, yeah.
And those have all been.
I was just gonna say, look at that cluster of balls sitting there.
Yeah. And that's sand wedge, pitching wedge, 8-iron.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's a handful of yards difference to each club and some more rollout.
Yep.
Got it.
Good. All right. So that'll obviously be something to work on this week, along with, the pitch shots that we did, on top of everything else. But so through this point, obviously we're going to go back in and work on a couple things here over the last few minutes. But to this point, I've pretty much given you almost everything that there is. The one thing we'll work on next week a little bit, and it's going to be so hard indoors, is how to use a bunker shot or how to hit a bunker shot.
Right.
And just remind me when we get into it next week, in case I hit my head or something. But I want to show you how to hit the bunker shots. It's really, essentially, it's a pitch shot with the ball forward. That's all it is, and making sure you swing the whole way through the sand. But we'll work on that next week. But as for now, why don't we pull out, what do you have in your hand, the 8?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's go to some full shots with it.
Okay. Downshifting from the drive, I'm glad we went to some chip shots. Downshifting from the driver sometimes causes an issue. So I think it shouldn't be a problem today.
Nice.
I got a little bent over.
Yeah. Good. Yep. And you picked up on the other thing you didn't do in the first shot. Was that
Which was?
right elbow?
Okay.
Yep. So you
I thought you were going to say that, but right. No, that's an 8-iron.
Yep. There it is.
So I'm pretty much not allowed to play golf unless you're in my ear.
Don't worry, you're close enough. We can make it happen a couple times.
Yeah. A buddy of mine was at Lakeview having a beer and sent us a video of the first tee covered in
ice,
covered in snow. Yeah.
Smoked it.
Yeah.
That pond on first, like an ice rink.
Yeah. So with that little move, am I shifting or am I turning?
So with that one, you just kind of locked your hips a little bit. The one that faded, you shifted more, but those first two, you were good.
Okay.
Better.
Caught it a little fat, but that's a good miss.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a little left.
Yeah.
It came back to the right a little bit, so you're okay.
No, I overswung that. Well.
It's all right.
Eight irons are becoming 7-iron distances. What are you doing to me? I pulled it.
Okay, so those last 4, and again, if it's comfortable, I'm fine with it. The first 3 of those last 4, your right elbow was almost perfect straight. Okay, that last one, you got a little bit more bend in it. But the ones you pulled, that right elbow was dead straight. So make sure you have a little bit of flex in it.
Okay, I think I may need to actually do this as opposed to, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if I am.
There you go. I mean, that thing couldn't have been any better. Good. A little bit of fade on that. A little bit of draw. 145. Yep.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yep. Much better. And you're making solid contact. You're making better contact with that elbow back.
Oh. I got quick both in the backswing and the downswing on that one.
Yep. Don't be afraid, Mike, to take that right arm off before you swing. Good.
I got too focused on that right elbow that time and forgot a couple other things.
Okay. Go through the steps. Build yourself a routine. So you're hitting it better when you pull that right arm off. All right. So if we know you hit it better with that right arm off, there you go. Just get in your setup and then reach in. Yeah.
Just a little low on backspin, but that's
okay.
About as good as I can hit as an 8-iron. Okay, so that makes sense. So I'm just going to have to.
Feel it. Turn back to the right. Yep, a little bit. You got that one a little bit in on the heel, but I mean, it came back, which you would expect if you hit it a little on the heel.
Right. The face closed on that one a little bit.
Yep. All right. Build that routine and get comfortable with it, because that's where you're hitting the ball the best, is going through that. Beautiful. Good. All right. I'm going to throw a curveball at you.
Okay.
Hit me a draw.
Well.
So you didn't swing along your shoulders. You kind of, even though
Right.
you turn your feet, make sure those shoulders turn with your feet and keep that face at the target.
Nope.
Okay.
I can do.
Even though it
I can do
started
better.
left, even though it started left, it did draw. So okay, that's good. Hit one more.
Well, I hit it fat, but that's gonna come back a little. Maybe not. It stayed. It didn't turn because I hit it fat and it opened the club face up.
Yep. And that'll happen. That's all right. Just remember, when you line up and you drop that right foot, make sure your shoulders turn with your body angle now and swing along your shoulder path. Don't try to come straight at it. Swing along that shoulder path.
Like that.
Yep, exactly.
Took me a couple, but that's what you asked for, right?
That's it. Now go the opposite way for me. I'm asking a lot, I know. That should do it.
And you did.
Yep, beautiful. Like I said, when we go that way, we're going to be a club down. So it's going to come up about a club shorter. But that's exactly what I wanted to see. So good. With those, just remember, when you move your feet, let your shoulders go with your feet and swing along your shoulders.
That started way left, but that might come back. I didn't open the club face on that one. That's what happened there.
Yeah, hit one more.
There it is.
There she goes.
Ish.
Beautiful.
A little bit. Yep.
Yep. Good. All right. Go ahead and hit me 2 more natural. Good. Good, good, good. All right. One more. There's a monster. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Good. So, I mean, today we've gotten everything except driver, which we're going to go back to. Everything's, left of the target. So we're not really moving everything. We fixed some things to be left of the target, which is positive. Let's see what we can do with driver here for the last couple shots.
Okay. And then maybe next week we take another look at hybrids.
Yep.
I have been struggling as of late with those, but of course I have been struggling as of late with just about everything. But I think it's part of the transition. Like I said earlier, the hips and the elbow are starting to become muscle memory, but that threw some other things out of whack for my natural swing.
Mm-hmm.
So those things are sort of coming into.
Well, a lot of the things we're doing today, should help straighten out those hybrids for you.
Come back a little. I didn't even swing that hard.
That's all right. I mean, it stayed to the right a little bit, which is okay. I mean, driver, we can't expect to come. Driver's the hardest one to get to the left.
Right.
But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that shot at all.
Yeah.
Good turn. And we did get it.
Yeah, it turned, and it's going to roll a long ways.
Yeah. We definitely got that one left.
Yeah, I think I got a little wristy through the impact on that one.
Yeah, so usually if it's like that to the left, almost 100% of the time you snap the wrist.
Right.
You didn't bring it's okay to snap your wrist when you're coming through, but if you snap them too early, you get that snap hook like that.
Right.
On the toe a little bit.
A little high on the face. I've got
a little on the toe. But, I mean, it didn't hurt you.
Yeah. Still using that tee that's a little too tall, too, I think.
Yeah. You'll have to go digging for the other one.
It's around here somewhere. It might be in the sink. No, I came through too fast.
Yep, you tried to kill that one.
Yeah. I mean, I did.
Well, and like I said earlier, I'm okay if you want to really kind of crank into it, but make sure you have all your mechanics through.
Right. Yeah.
That one, you definitely let those wrists go real early on that.
Mm-hmm.
And that, so not only will the wrist force it left, it's also, if you let those wrists go at the wrong time, it's going to pop it straight up like it just did.
Right.
Better. Much better. All right. Set up for a draw with it for me one time. See if we can work it here to the left and work it to the right. Nice ball, Mike.
Yeah.
All
Shorter
right.
tee.
Go the other way. Let's see if we can get a little fade in there.
A little fade. You mean like my normal shot? That'll do it.
That'll do.
Oh, wait. Well, that was weird.
Well, nah, I mean, I don't think it picked it up. That definitely should have been to the right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Go ahead, hit one more straight, just nice and easy, normal setup. Nice. Good. All right. So definitely from the first start of the driver to this one, we're getting through those hips better and we're coming through better. So I think honestly, as we went, you taking off your right arm and doing it, getting into that routine, I mean, you're striking the ball so much better. And I think all it is, because there were a lot of times where without taking the arm off, you would still get in that same position. And it may have been a mental thing, but once we started taking that arm off and kind of getting it in there, we started striking it better. You started hitting it better. And I mean, unless I told you to, we really didn't find the right side of the target line.
Right.
So I would say keep working on that. Keep working on that routine and try to work it into the hybrids a little bit. Work it into your longer iron. And you should see some improvement. And then, like I said, next week we'll talk, some of the bunker shots, how to set up for that, how to adjust for the bunker shots. And then, we'll kind of go back through everything and kind of go through everything. And then we'll see where we're at because there is another point kind of more advanced, but I want you to be comfortable with all of this before we jump into advanced, because the advanced is kind of where we start. I'm not going to say it's unnatural, but where we take another tweak or two that eliminates that over the top you have.
Right.
But with this, the way we are right now, your natural swing, we're getting good results. So I don't want to mess with that until this is ingrained in your head, because once this is all ingrained, the next step is just learning how to change that club pass from being an over the top to an inside out. And once you get that, I mean, this will change your game drastically. When you go from over the top to inside out, it's a completely different world out there. So that just keep working on what we worked on here over the next week. Let me know if you need anything. Like I said, if you need to, you can jump in the program, or you can shoot me an email. It doesn't matter. I'm
Sure.
cool with either, but you have any questions for me?
No, I think I'm all set. I think things got worse and now they're getting better. And that's a function of us taking small steps and not changing anything too drastically, but it puts some things out of whack that we are getting closer to fixing. So I appreciate the incremental changes and not everything all at the same time.
Yeah, and so that's why I do this system this way. Let's work with what's already natural for you, and let's just tweak a couple things and make it better so you play better golf. That's kind of where we're going. And I mean, listen, as you work on the system and you get more comfortable and confident with everything, there might not be a need for advanced protocols because you know exactly what your ball is going to do all the time now. Well, as long as you know that and know the distances, the only thing left to do is putt. So that's the whole goal, is take what's natural, what feels natural, and let's improve on it to get you playing better. And then, we'll take the next step when it's time to take the next step.
Sounds good.
All right, sir. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening and stay in touch and let me know about next week.
Will do.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Yep. Hey,
right, yeah.
Yep. Hey, 1 second. I am here. I'll stop recording. I'm sure you'll edit.